Call to order Charter Township of Plymouth Board of Trustees regular meeting, Tuesday, March 24, 2026, 6:30 PM. I'll do the roll call. Jen Buckley,
Here.
Mark Clinton. Here. Supervisor Kermy, here. Bob Dorshevitz.
Here.
Sandy Groth.
Here.
John Stewart.
Here.
Jerry Vorva excused. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of the agenda for March 24, 2026.
I would like to make an amendment to the minutes regarding the conversation that we had at the last meeting.
Do we want to do that when we get to the approval of the consent agenda?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that would be a good idea. I'm
Okay.
confused.
So all in favor of, in fact, by the way, if I'm not doing something right, point out, or if I forget something. All in favor of approving the agenda for tonight? I need a motion? Okay.
I make a motion to approve the agenda for Tuesday, March 24th, 2026.
Second.
All right. Jen Buckley?
Yes.
Mark Clinton? Yes. Do we need to do a roll call?
No, it's-
No? Okay. All in favor, say aye. 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 All opposed, say nay. All right. Now we're at the approval of the consent agenda. So if we have questions, we can do it.
I have some things that I would like to have added to the minutes just for purposes of the record. Gotta find it. I asked several questions at the last meeting of the people with the hillside situation. I asked questions about the Brownfield Plan amendment, definitions of Plymouth Township workforce, missing middle, and I referred to the board packet that stated a specific need that we had not identified. And then I asked what would happen if the board didn't adopt the amendment and what impact a refusal would have on the current development. I would just like to have those comments added to the to the minutes.
Well, it doesn't need to be a transcription.
I don't
that's not-
expect it to, but that was a pretty lengthy conversation. I did a lot of research on that, and I asked a lot of questions to help clarify, and I would like those to be part of the record.
So how do we inject this? We pull these off the table and approve them at a later time, or take what you have here and add? But
We can add this if the board approves it. Otherwise, we don't.
No, we have to,
you got to vote on accepting those changes?
Yes.
no, we can't. We got to pull it off and edit them and resubmit them in a future meeting.
All right.
We can't just accept these verbal changes.
They're not verbal. I wrote them.
Well, we don't have time to review them. We have to pull it off, and we have to not approve. It has to come back to a later meeting.
We don't usually do that. Kevin?
Yes.
That's not our past practice, is it?
I don't know, this really hasn't come up before.
Yes, it has.
Well, we've added things, but maybe not that many. Or we've made corrections in the
The
past.
board is satisfied that the proposed changes are accurate, then that will be discretionary consideration for the board.
I haven't had time to review them. I don't have a copy. Nothing was sent out. And I'm not going to review it right now unless we adjourn and have time to review it.
So let's
and
take
go
them
back
off.
and look at the video.
So
Because this is ridiculous.
We're going to take them off.
Add changes at the board meeting. If you
Let's
have
do that. Can we-
proposed changes, you send those out in advance.
I've never done that before.
So
I
that's
think
what
I
you
made a
do,
change
it's
at
a
one board
courtesy.
meeting, but it was like one word
One word,
from
yeah,
not
one word
to.
was easy.
Yeah.
So
out the
let's
not.
do this.
Just
Let's
remove it.
let's take it off the agenda, and we will postpone the approval to another meeting, to the next meeting. We will
Okay.
take, you've got to submit you're going to submit those.
To everyone.
and to the recording secretary, and then we can look at, they'll be submitted to everybody. We can look at them, and then they can be put on the agenda for the next meeting.
And then I have a question. Were you done? I'm sorry.
I am, thank you.
Just on the appointment, just for clarification, they don't need to be from Plymouth Township?
If they own a business,
Okay.
no.
So they own it.
This person owns a Quick Pass car wash.
Okay.
And we're having a hard time getting a quorum, so by adding this person, it doesn't increase our number for the quorum, but increase our odds of having a quorum at these meetings for DDA and Brownfield.
She's coming from Fenton,
Right.
if I'm reading that correctly. That's
Hopefully it'll come from work.
Be on the Quick Pass car wash over on Ann Arbor Road.
okay.
Is that the one down by Dunkin' Donuts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that's Jamie Burke, he couldn't be here tonight. That's for the Downtown Development Authority and Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. We'll be appointing him to have an incremental member.
Mr. Supervisor, I move to approve Resolution 2026-03-24-23, appointing Jamie Burke to the DDA/Brownfield Redevelopment Authority for a 4-year term ending March 31st, 2030.
Second.
Okay, and a roll call.
All right, here goes the roll call.
Supervisor Kermy?
Yes.
Trustee Buckley?
Yes.
Trustee Groth, yes. Treasurer Dorchevitz?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Clinton?
Yes.
Okay.
Is he here?
Resolution passed. No, he's not here.
So, public comment,
Chuck, you gotta do D3
D3.
on the consent agenda.
Oh, the bills, okay. That's why we normally do one
Yeah,
to
make it easy.
make it easy, so, all right. So we need a motion to we don't need a resolution to approve the bills.
Right.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the township bills as in item 3.
So moved.
We have a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? All right, motion passes. Thank you guys for catching this stuff. All right, so now we are going to move into something a little more concrete, which is, well, not concrete. Voter comments, or vote comments. Resident comments, 3 minutes, non-agenda items. Be truthful, be civil, and be succinct, please.
Hi, I'm Estella Liansky, and I want to let...
Can't hear
Can't hear
you.
you.
Is that better?
Much.
Okay, I'm Estella Liansky, and I want to let you know I'm unhappy with the board about the neutral position you took on the transit tax. After sitting through the presentation and seeing no routes that were to the airport which seemed to be of interest to the township residents, the Canton planner once again got up and said, well, this is only a 3-year plan. I don't understand why the board would think that residents should pay for a transit tax when it really doesn't do anything for Plymouth Township for a very long, long time. If communities had not lost their voice about opting out individually, I do not think this board would have approved it, at least from the past way that you've voted on this. Unfortunately, when it's forced on us as a countywide tax, the board is suddenly neutral. The board is supposed to be nominally a Republican board, and though you serve everyone, my thought is you should be standing up against Michigan's lame duck decision about transit tax and not be neutral. My fear is that you will stay quiet as the state takes away our ability to zone our own communities. I certainly hope the state doesn't end up making us have a parking lot next to the bus stop. The state wants all our powers and has no limits. You have to fight for us. Please rethink your neutral position on the transit tax. Thank you.
By the way, the tax hasn't been put on the ballot yet, so we
Well-
have plenty of time.
Right, but you guys were neutral, and that did not, first I was angry, now I'm just unhappy.
I'm Dwayne Zantop. I've previously raised...
Get close to the mic.
Okay.
Talking to the mic.
I've previously raised concerns about the private information being leaked from this building. Last Wednesday, I spoke with Chief Nitel regarding a situation that appears that it possibly could have originated within the police department. He was cordial and advised me to submit a FOIA request, which I did, where I obtained this information. On Tuesday, March 10th, one of our trustees was confronted with and harassed by Scott Spielman, a reporter for The Rock magazine. The trustee repeatedly asked Spielman to leave his office. After Spielman continued to intimidate him for about 20 minutes, the trustee called 911 to request assistance. The phone was inadvertently left on, and the 911 call was recorded. The following morning, March 11th at 9:45 a.m., Robert McCurley, widely known as to be closely associated with Kurt Heisey, submitted a FOIA request for that 911 call. He knew the exact time of the incident. How could he have obtained this information? Shortly after obtaining the recording, it was posted on a Facebook page associated with Kurt Heisey, where it is used to make derogatory remarks about members of the community in apparent attempts to damage our reputations. Many of us are blocked from that page, but Spielman himself engaged in comments on that page, further highlighting the connection. Let's be clear. This is not about transparency or public interest. This was a coordinated effort to obtain and weaponize a sensitive recording for political purpose. The speed which this unfolded raises serious questions, unavoidable questions about how this information was identified to Robert McCurry, accessed and disseminated so quickly. Once again, we are seeing private information used as a political weapon to further attack individuals and damage reputations in our community. This is not acceptable. I believe it warrants a full and immediate investigation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more?
Good evening, and name is Bill Ikes from Hidden Creek HOA. Three things. One, the data center moratorium. Great move to defer it, right? That was excellent call, and I'll tell you why. Infrasound, that's the noise less than 20 hertz. It's what the cooling components generate. It is bad for hearts and brains, okay? Matter of fact, it's deadly. So the decision was a good one. The Hillside project, just want to remind you guys, every project should stand on its own financial merit, right? There shouldn't be any kickbacks from tax revenue to fund anything. If a project can't stand on its own, right, for NPV or ROI, then it's not a good one. And lastly, the transit info session last week. It's a plan without a strategy, and it really does little for the west side. So I appreciate the opportunity actually to get the invitation to attend and to listen. I just want to share my input is I'm totally against it. It's just a bad plan for all west side suburbs and cities. That's it. Thank you.
What was he talking about? What was he talking about?
He's talking about transit
Oh.
and data centers. Anyone else? All right. Let's move to new business. Item F1, which are fiscal year 2025 budget amendments. Most of these are the result of the TPOAM, which is the office workers in Plymouth Township contract, where there was a signing bonus associated with that. The signing bonus came after the budget was established, so that's why we're making those wage adjustments in each department. But we have, yep, I'll do it, that's right, I forgot. I thought she was gonna be here, but, all right.
Carol's here.
Carol's here.
Well, there you are, there you are, Carol. Carol rescued me. All right, Carol Rashan, our finance director, will give you the details.
So tonight, we're going to do a total expenditure appropriations of $646,765. Of that, general fund is $408,762, and the proprietary funds are $238,003. So we'll start with, as Chuck said, the TPOAM contract had a signing bonus, which was $1,500 for a full-time employee and $750 for a part-time employee. So if we start at the top, finance has one part-time employee. The clerk's department has one full-time employee and one part-time employee. IT has one part-time employee. IT, we're also doing a carry forward of a purchase order from 2025, the training room AV equipment, in the amount of $8,287. The room didn't get finished, but the PO was open, so we're carrying that budget forward. The Treasury Department has 3 part-time employees that were eligible for the bonus. The General Government Department has a budget carry forward. IT needs to complete the new .gov domain for email that didn't get completed in 2025, so we're carrying over $3,400. They also have a PO open from 2025 in the capital outlay for a data switch project, which didn't get complete at the end of the year. Then we're back to signing bonus. So the elections office has one full-time employee, building and grounds has one full-time employee, and the police department have 2 full-time employees which fall under that contract. We also have to amend the wages, vacation/sick one-time payouts in the police department. They had one person promoted, so they had I believe it was vacation time that had to be paid out to bring them back to the level they could carry, and then we had a retirement. So those 2 together are $46,200. They also have in the capital outlay line a data switch project, which the PO was opened, it didn't get complete, so we're carrying forward another $3,300. Dispatch needs to carry forward budget. There was televisions for monitoring lockup and security cam footage, $2,500 that we need to bring forward. The fire department has one full-time employee that had bonus. In the land and building repairs, they had a sprinkler project for Station 3. They had an open PO of $56,000 that needs to bring carried forward to finish paying for that. The capital outlay has upfit for the chief's new vehicle, their new utility vehicle, and data switch project, so that totals $257,400. And I want to note the utility vehicle, that purchase order is still being carried forward from 2024. So we carried it to 25, we're taking it to 26, and rumor has it we're going to get that in April. The jail has one full-time employee with a signing bonus, and the building department has 3 full-time employees plus 1 part-time employee. The building department also has had overage on their copiers due to other departments using their copier, and we need to amend their budget for $800 to cover that overage. Moving to the water and sewer fund, the public service department has 4 full-time employees, which total $6,000 for their signing bonus. In their equipment maintenance and services and public works, they have 1 PO for Dixon Engineering for the water tank rehab. There's a final inspection coming in the spring, so we need to carry forward $10,700 for that. And then capital outlay has a couple of projects that needed to carry forward. One was for Scadia radio replacement, and then their PRV replacement, those, and their data switches, which totaled $219,800. And then finally, rubbish collection fund has 1 full-time employee, so we had to adjust the budget for $1,500 for that signing bonus. So that's the list of items that make up the budget amendment.
So are these all carry forward?
If it wasn't for signing bonus, yes, it was carry forward.
But the signing bonuses weren't budgeted for last year?
No, we didn't know about the signing bonus at the time we put the budget together.
I thought
Did you get that new fire truck in '25 or in '24?
Was ordered in August of 2024, and it may be delivered in April of 2026.
All right, then
So we just
shouldn't
cut,
shouldn't
we're
we-
just going to cut the check for that vehicle in the run tomorrow, and Pat's going to take the check with him when he gets delivery. So we're not going to mail the check before we get the vehicle, but it's taken that long to get the vehicle.
I guess I understood it, but in 2024, for the board, don't we have to approve it again because it's not 25?
No,
You
you
don't
approved
think
the
so?
carry forward of the budget, and the purchase was already approved.
It was approved in '24.
Right.
Yeah, and that carries forward. When we do the budget carry forward, you're approving that to come
I'm
forward.
sorry, what again? What exactly was it in '24? What time was it?
August.
Because August. This is a whole different board here.
But the budget carry forward was approved in '25, and that's what we're doing again. So we've already got the purchase order out there, the board approved it, it just didn't happen to pay. But we can't turn around and say,
So we're committed to the purchase from that order in 2024.
the board committed the purchase
Okay.
back in '24. We just didn't release the funds now till '25, or '26 now.
Okay.
So Carol, of the $650,000, all of it is carry forward except for how much?
Well, I didn't add up the signing bonuses, so,
Oh,
Signing bonus was probably 35 to 40,000.
yeah, I would say in that neighborhood, yes.
okay.
Where is the money coming from to supplement?
General fund, or whichever fund, it would come from fund balance.
So is it the reserve?
Well, we did have at the, when we submitted our budget, we had about a $65,000 surplus at that point. So we would be whittling away at that surplus right now.
Which means I also probably need to make more cuts, we'll see, because they always get negative, but usually get more bad news than good news. Any more questions on the board?
Well, we also, did we not take the gym equipment from this surplus as well, that $29,000? So we
Yes.
had 60, we took 29, and now we're taking an additional 40?
Yeah, so we probably don't have.
Probably used up
surplus.
substantially.
Yeah, I would say so.
Although most of the 2025 money that went towards the gym came from leftover unspent budget from police training.
Yeah, we had $22,000 that we did not spend due to the fact we were short 6 officers in training. So that was put back into the general fund, but that would be money that would be used for the gym equipment.
So once our audit is complete, and the auditors will come in and give a presentation, we will see at that point in time if from 2025 we're dropping any funds back into fund balance. And then anything we approve moving forward then would come out of that fund balance.
Okay, thank you.
Any more questions up here? Any more questions out there? No? All right. So we're looking for a motion, or, because it's a resolution, right? To approve these. The resolution is on page 36. Do we have anyone willing to move to?
Yeah, I can do it. Mr. Supervisor, I move that the Plymouth Township Board of Trustees hereby adopt resolution number 2026-03-24-24, authorizing various fiscal year 2026 budget amendments as outlined and attached.
Second.
All right.
Roll call.
Roll call.
Supervisor Kermy?
Yes.
Trustee Buckley?
Yes.
Trustee Groth, yes. Treasurer Dorshevitz?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Clinton?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Next item, F2, which are salary increases for deputy treasurer and deputy clerk. These people serve at the pleasure of the treasurer and the clerk. We have coupled both of these positions, deputy treasurer, deputy clerk, to have equal wages. Going forward, we may or may not do that. And we also may or may not do annual increases. It depends on how things go. But for now, that's what we're doing, and Bob will take you through it.
I think you pretty much covered it. We had, it's going on 13 months since my deputy has had a increase, and I think he's the lowest paid in the area. And in some cases by quite a bit of money. He is, I submitted this originally as a deputy treasurer, nothing against the deputy clerk, but I don't think they should be coupled together. That was a Ron Edwards thing when he got in a spat with somebody. And they're vastly different jobs, and they should be evaluated for the job that they are. We don't tie the police chief and the fire chief together. Why are we tying the deputy clerk and the clerk together? It doesn't make any sense. But that notwithstanding that, the deputy clerk is also due for an increase. And 3% doesn't even cover inflation in the last year. So I think it's a moderate increase, and I ask you to support it.
And there is budget, this was budgeted, so no budget amendment will be needed for this.
And if we do that, we need to look at the resolution on page 42. The third paragraph where it says, whereas state law also states that the office of deputy, the next line says treasurer, it needs to say and deputy clerk shall
Yeah,
be paid
good
by
catch.
salary or otherwise, as determined by the township.
The last sentence says deputy treasurer and deputy clerk. Where is this other, oh,
He's
whereas.
referring to what the law
the-
says, and it is specific to both of those positions.
okay, so we need to add it in the third, this is page 42, where it talks about MCL 41.69 and 41.77.
It says deputy treasurer, and then it should just say and deputy clerk.
So we need to
Shall
add
be
the
paid by
words and
salary.
deputy clerk. And it is in the final now therefore be it resolved, both deputy clerk and deputy treasurer. All right, do we,
I will make a motion that the Plymouth Township Board of Trustees hereby adopt Resolution 2026-03-24-25 to approve salary increases for the deputy treasurer and deputy clerk effective at the start of the next pay period, March 30th, 2026.
Second?
Roll call. Trustee Buckley?
Yes.
Trustee Groth, yes. Treasurer Dorchevitz?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Supervisor Kermy?
yes,
Trustee Clinton?
Yes.
Thank
Motion
you.
carries.
so it's March 30. Okay. So we have, we're done with the formal business. Public comment. Anyone else have anything else to say? We're going to go into closed session after this. There might be, when you have to vote to come out of closed session, so possibly there could be something after that, but that's what we're gonna do, public comment now. Depends on how the closed session goes. Can't predict the future. Right.
We have no agenda items after the closed session. There's just an opportunity for public comments again, but I wouldn't hang around if I were you. But it's up to you.
Any other comments? No?
Can-
You wanna do board comments now?
It's up to you guys. How do you want
Could
to
do
handle it?
that.
Yeah, it'll be probably more efficient.
Okay.
All right, so let's do board comments. Let's start with Mark Clinton.
All set?
Jen Buckley.
Nothing at this time.
Bob Dershowitz.
All set.
I want to make a comment, and I direct this probably specifically to the chief of police in relation to the citizen comments. Back on January 13th, this board discussed FOIA, and we discussed, the purpose of FOIA, and the police department, in particular, the chief of police and director of communications, wanted to eliminate the names from the list that we get monthly. We eliminate the names of the people who request police records. And I'm concerned about the fact that we spent so much time and we were concerned about the privacy of the people who request records, yet something came out of somewhere, the police department, within 24 hours of a 911 phone call. And I think that we have an obligation to the residents to act professionally and protect the confidentiality of information, especially of a personal nature. And I would like to know what happened, how that information got out.
There were two police departments involved, though.
Yes, that I know.
There were two police departments involved. A FOIA was filed, the FOIA was filled, and that's how the information.
But how did someone know to request the information? That's the point.
You'd have to ask the person that filed the FOIA complaint. I don't know that.
Well, it clearly had to come out of the police department because it was a 911 call.
Well, you also have the person that came there for the
call.
interview. Could they have
You have a caller.
would be
that
my
called
bet.
put that out?
It could, I don't have the answer to that question.
Well, I think that we all need to be very conscious. I mean, you did come to the board and express concern about privacy
Correct.
issues. And this, to me, is a complete opposite example of that. And I just think that we, as representatives of the public, we need to be conscious of the fact that in the course of our work, sometimes we come across information that should not be disseminated to other people.
Sandy, you're assuming that came out of the police department. I would bet it didn't.
Yeah, you're right, I am, because it was a 911 call, so you might be right. I was trying to get to the bottom of how it got out.
It may have been the person who made the police report. I don't know, right?
I didn't know there
Of course,
was a police report specifically.
I don't know.
Somebody said it cited a number. I thought I
I'm
heard
not
somebody
sure
say
that there was a
there was a
report written or
number.
not.
You're not sure about the report?
Well, it's the city of Plymouth, so it's not my, yeah. So, but I mean, to say that it came from the police department, I'm not sure how you come up with that conclusion, so.
It came from somewhere. And all I'm saying is, we need to,
There are no secrets in this town.
Are you guys referring to the John Stewart?
Yes.
Okay, well, there was more than one person involved in that, so.
well, it was Mr. McCurdy who requested the tape. All I'm trying to find out is how did he know there was a tape to request?
Have another person, there's another party involved, so, and he's a reporter, so. He's all about disseminating information.
I haven't talked to the reporter. I'm just simply saying if it's an internal matter, in light of the consideration that we put towards the FOIA report, I just think we need to be consistent in the application of whatever
Be a
that
good
is.
person to ask.
Pardon?
I think he'd be a good person to ask.
The reporter?
Yeah.
Okay, I can do that. That's all I have.
John Stewart?
I'm grateful for a lot of people, including the former relationship that I had with Representative Richard LeBlanc. Detective Hockenberry in the city of Plymouth, Heemstra, these are just super quality guys. Smitherman, Titterington, Judge Giroux, the courage of Dwayne Zantop and Sandy Groth here tonight in the spirit of full disclosure. And on a much lighter note, I'll end my comment with, I'm known as a frozen chosen Presbyterian, and one of the smartest things I ever did 47 years ago this week was Mary Beth, who was a Presbyterian preacher's kid. Now, I observed 3 rows of people here tonight each greet each other with a hug. You make me feel that I'm renewed my spirit. This is Plymouth Township, Michigan. We work together, we build our community. Our future is bright, and we get to live here. Thank you very much.
I will make the motion.
Well, hold on, let me give my little
Oh, I'm
summary.
sorry.
All right.
I didn't mean to forget you.
Kevin Bennett, our chief counsel, has indicated he wants to retire from being general counsel, so we are working on a request for proposal to seek new general counsel. It's a little complex, so we've got to make sure that we're doing it correctly, because we're working with a lot of attorneys. So, we have been tentatively awarded a $200,000 grant to fix the drainage problem in the surface at Friendship Station parking lot. That's the senior center on Schoolcraft Road, backing up to M14,
Who is the grant from?
Wayne County.
Oh, nice.
Well, really, it's CBDG,
Yeah,
which is really it's federal money passed through
yeah.
Wayne County. It's not Wayne County's tax money. The Live Golf kickoff meeting will be coming up. We're trying to make that as least as intrusive as possible. Since we went through it last year, we are going to be a lot smarter this year, and hopefully it will take less labor on our part. The next item is, I wanted to kind of get an idea. I'm considering rescheduling the April 14th board meeting to April 21. Does anybody have any objection to that, or things we need to do a workaround on? It's 1 week later.
Bills.
Bills, yeah, we'll handle that. We got that,
Did Carol talk to you?
yeah.
Okay.
So we can handle that. We've gone this long before.
Yeah, I know. She mentioned it to me today, and I said, go make Chuck sure that
Yeah.
you're aware of it.
So we're set on that.
Okay.
Important.
The utilities get paid every week
Yeah.
anyway. The
So,
other,
Mr. Supervisor, you're saying that you're recommending that our meeting in April be April 21?
I'm not recommending, I'm just doing some planning, I'm polling you to see what you think. We may or may not.
Hearing no objection.
So I can change it, we don't need to vote to
Right.
change it. So,
And are you still keeping the
So there
28th
would
meeting?
be,
no, the 28th meeting will not happen.
Okay, so no to the 14th, no to the 28th, but on for the
21.
21st. I'm
Yeah.
available, so.
Is the RFP gonna be ready by that time, do you think?
Yeah, the board doesn't have to approve the RFP, I don't think.
We should have a chance to see
Well, you
it.
can see it, but I don't think you need to vote on it.
For legal services?
Yeah.
I do think the board does
You
that.
want to wait that long?
More than 50,000
Yeah.
for
Okay.
services.
All right, we haven't started, we just started it, so we'll bring it then on, so we have a little more time. Okay. Now we have closed session.
I will make a motion at 7:09 PM that the Board of Trustees convene in a closed session pursuant to the Michigan Open Meetings Act, MCL 15-268, Paragraph 1, Paragraph H, to consult with the township attorney concerning a legal opinion exempt from public disclosure.
second.
Supervisor Kermy?
Yes.
Treasurer Dorashevitz?
Yes.
Trustee Buckley?
Yes.
Trustee Clinton?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
And Trustee Groth, yes. All right, we'll go into closed session.
They're not all back yet. Did he leave? Yes. Yeah, but he needs to stay.
John, he went the other way. He went that way.
Did he go to the men's room?
I don't know.
Because he can't get out that way.
I just know that he started to move that way.
Bathroom, I think, is the only thing that way.
So how do we read that?
I'm going to read it.
You're going to read it for us, okay. Handwriting 101.
Chicken scratching 101.
All right,
I will make the motion that we
Okay.
return to open session
okay.
at 8:01.
Second.
So we got a motion and we got a second to return to open session.
Supervisor Kermy,
Yes.
Treasurer Dorshevitz,
Yeah.
Trustee Buckley. Yes. Trustee Clinton,
Yes.
Trustee Groth, yes. Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Azal.
All right, now, we discussed in closed session a legal opinion that, about adopting attestation for people who are pre-65 retirees, that essentially will ask them to go on to their new employer's insurance and come back to Plymouth Township when they retire, get fired, quit, whatever they want to do. It's a great option. It's a savings to the Plymouth Township. We don't know exactly how many people that are working, that have health care elsewhere, but we'll ask them to take it there and then come back to us. So we have a resolution. Does someone want to make the resolution? And then if they do, then the attorney will read it because he'll read it.
I'll make the motion that we accept Resolution 2026-03-24-26. You want to go ahead and read it?
Is there going to be a
We
second?
need a second.
Okay.
So who's seconding? Dorshevitz
Or I
or
don't care.
Stewart.
John Stewart.
John Stewart? All right.
Okay, and do I do a roll call
Wait till I read it.
after you read it? Okay.
Okay, this is a resolution to adopt pre-65 retiree health care attestation policy. Whereas the township has adopted under Public Act 152 of 2011, a medical benefit plan for township employees. And whereas the board has determined that employees that retire pre-65 from their position with the township often take new employment wherein medical benefit plans are available. Now therefore, it is resolved that the township adopt resolution number 2026-03-24-26 and the attached pre-65 retiree healthcare attestation number 4.2 and 4.3 to be administered by the township administration.
Okay, so now we need to do a roll call?
Yes, we'll do a roll call. Supervisor Kermy,
Yes.
Treasurer Dorshevitz.
Yeah.
Trustee Buckley. Yes. Trustee Clinton.
Yes.
Trustee Groth, yes. Trustee Stewart.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, so motion for adjournment, is that
So
what?
moved?
Second.
John Stewart moved, seconded by Mark Clinton.
Yep.
At 8:05.
8:05.
Perfect.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Adjourned.